Quotum community. Ready for most important market moves of the week? Here's what you need to know. Lock in. Omar will walk us through the essentials. Got questions? Drop them in the chat, and if they're intriguing, cover them in a special video.
Last week, we secured a 30% profit on our second Veracity trade and shifted our focus to Bitcoin. A significant short opportunity arose, and our group capitalized on it. Immediately after our call out, we secured profit on our short. Observe and understand why we made that move. So, over the past few weeks, we've been tracking the Bitcoin chart to predict its future movements. In the midterm, it seems decidedly bearish. Omar, what's your take on it? Can you give us a demonstration?
Yeah, for sure. So, beginning of this week, better said, 9th of October in the morning, I sent this chart to the group, warning everyone to, be careful and listen. We at the end of the day, we're here to make money. So I announced this short position in the group, and I really hope people took it with me. I think actually quite a few people took it with me. And what we see here happen is I saw this little redistribution phase happening, right? Which is something that we talked about also in our previous video. And the way we see this actually is just how the upwards price action is going, and then it stagnates just there and not really much is happening. So what we then see is, hey, this is actually going to nuke because there's nothing here first, and after that we can see that we're going to have a touch on the trend line here, but this is more of a psychology trend line, if you will, and it's not really something that you can apply in TA because it only had like two touches. This one, I know it's more, but
what Omar is saying is, the more frequently a price touches a trend line, the more predictable it becomes, allowing for better trading opportunities. Now let's get back to the video.
Because it only had like two touches. This one, I know it's more, but it doesn't really count. But at the end of the day, guys, TA is a psychology thing, and it's not really applicable. You always have to look at psychology levels and support and resistance, right? Like POCs, point of confluence. So those are the points that you should look at instead of only trend lines. But this was the chart. And then if we go now to trading view, real quick, and by the way, we shared also this news that likely there's going to be some spot ETFs approved within the coming few weeks. And yeah, let's have a quick look at the chart. And then what we see here is that if we take a quick look at our trade, we see that we had barely any loss, and the trade has barely had any time in the stop loss or in the red area, right? But we see here that we might see some upward momentum, at least till this zone right here.
This was an insane move from Quotum, since this is exactly what happened 2 days after we recorded the video. The Bitcoin price pumped to exactly 27K.
And then from there, head back again, right? Sorry for that noise in the background. Looks like there's going to come a huge tsunami or something, but back to TA. We see that there's going to be some sort of upwards momentum and then just likely head back. I did announce in the group earlier in the morning that we closed the trade just for the coming 3 to 4 days, just to see what actually happens with this ETF. And after that, we're going to see what happens with that, But yeah, so far so good. Trade was nicely. We had a nice amount of leverage, and it means some great gains. We had a proper risk management. If you see, we had a 9-to-1, so 1% loss and then 9% profit. Of course, 10x leverage. Then you can do the count. And we're gonna move actually now to the midterm forecast, and I'm gonna put the weekly. And I actually want to show you one thing, right? We talked a lot about this chart. And if you actually take a closer look at it, it is actually following quite perfectly. I adjusted this a little bit, right? Where it should have bottomed out, or where it will bottom out eventually. And it is around the 20K area. But we first need to look at this point right here, which is 24K to 23K, right? Because that's where we're likely going to see the price head first. And after that, it's going to be a close monitoring season for us because we need to see what happens around that area. It's been a lot of time since we touched this line over here, and if it breaks down, which we believe it will actually, then it will likely lead to a higher breakdown, or sorry, a lower breakdown, and get into this area over here, basically having the same as we had here, right? Imagine that this is a range, right? Or sorry, this, and this is just a deviation as well as this. And then what you see happening is actually, back into the range. And it would actually be quite good in terms of timing, right? Because then we would have a dump, huge dump, if you ask me, before the halvening, and then basically just continue up. Basically what happened here, a huge dump, but this is of course was caused by a black swan event. I don't know if we're going to see one, to be honest. There's likely going to be like a third world war, but hopefully not. Hopefully everyone is safe, but at the end of the day, we're here to make money and we need to see what happens, right? So hopefully something like this does not happen, but minor dump in comparison to this, of course. I think that if we had a dump from here, it would be like 25%. I think we all can take a 25% dump, right? And from there just go up, right? If I take everything off, we see that, okay, not only the head and shoulders is actually happening, but we also see around the top, right? We see that. Let me do this. If we see that we have clearly formed a rounded top, right? It's easy to see, right? And people can say no, it isn't, blah blah blah, but those are people that are emotionally attached to the price action. And I'm just showing you the weekly. If I show you the monthly, it's looking actually even uglier. Like, let's be honest, we have a shooting star. We all know what a shooting star is, and it is not looking good. It is just, honestly speaking, not looking good. And we can actually take example of these two candles over here, which I'm going to point out right now. This one and this one. This one is a hanging body, but we can see how important the monthly chart is, right? Because if the monthly chart marks a reversal, it's just going to happen. And we saw it happen here and here. And this is between 1 and 2 years ago, right? And we're seeing now happening here. This is a shooting star. This is a reversal candle. This is also a reversal candle, the same as we had here. And what did we see happen before? We saw a dump happen after that. Sorry, not before, but after. And likely we see something like this again, and it will lead to this area. Likely that it will lead to this area. And here's where we should buy, which is, by the way, it actually, comes closer to the 20K area. And here is where we should actually load up, right? So, guys, be careful out there. And now just to have a quick look on Ethereum, which we also had a forecast on, it is just not looking good. Like, honestly speaking, it is just not looking good. It just has a lot of room to grow in terms of downwards momentum. It just has a lot of room. And if it was up to me, I see it literally going here. And we could actually be creating some good spots, but like shorts again, right? And likely we will do so if we see Bitcoin breaking down harder. So yeah, not looking quite good, the market, to be completely honest. Not looking really good. But hey, it's the market. We adapt. We're gonna make money either way. We have our spot bags. We announced already that we sold our spot Rio and Nexa and Unizen bags. We still have our VRA because basically we bought it super low, so we're still at a massive profit at the moment. But the chart is not looking good. It's not looking good either. Completely honest. But yeah, we'll keep holding Veracity basically because it's sort of our baby, so to speak, right? It's the only project where we sort of have a soft heart for it, but more because of the value that it holds, the fundamentals that it has, and the commitment that the team has, and they showed it, right? So that's really about it. And yeah, to be completely honest, guys, this is it. Keep an eye on this forecast. Make sure to join the Telegram group if you haven't joined yet, which is this one, at QuotumC. And yeah, hopefully I see you guys tuning in. Have a nice day. And
got a burning question or video idea? Drop it in the comments. The most compelling one will get its own dedicated video. Peace and love. See you in the next one.